Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Alright, so Mars is going direct in Gemini, and we're going to talk about it. So, if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me in the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box in the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Alright. Okay, everybody. So, Mars is going direct in Gemini. That's going to be from February 23rd to April 2nd. So, because Mars is going direct, it's going to take a little longer than usual to get through the sun. Now, there will also be a triple impact taking place in the sign of Virgo. Now, for those that don't know, what is triple impact? That's when the three slower moving physical planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, all impact one sign through transit or through aspect. So, with Mars going direct, Mars is going to aspect Virgo with its fourth aspect. And then Jupiter and Saturn will also aspect from their respective signs. Okay, but what does this mean? What does triple impact mean? It means there is a big event that will take place tied to that house. Things will change with that house. Something significant will happen. And this is a very short window, from March 29th to April 2nd. That's like 4 or 5 days, something like that. So, quite a bit, could take place during those days, which makes sense because the eclipse will be happening around then. But we're going to, dive into that. But first, these are your Vedic Sidereal placements, not your Western Tropical. If you don't know your Vedic Sidereal placements, you can look up a birth chart calculator online for free, or get a much more detailed birth chart from my website, which even includes your Navamsha Nakshatras. Okay. Now, we're going to be starting off with Aries, like always. So let's get into it. Alright, so, Aries. For you, Mars is going direct in your third house, in Gemini. Now, Mars is energy and drive. So, the house is being energized. But Mars is also conflict. There will be conflict here. And Mars brings accidents as well. So, third house is your younger siblings. It's your cousins, your neighbors. It's communication of all kinds, including writing. It's marketing and sales. It's your skills. It's creativity, arts, and sports. Third house is media, social media, the internet. It's short distance travel, but it can even be foreign travel, because 12th from the 4th, furthest place from your homeland. Now, third house is also effort. It's 8th from the 8th. So it's the higher form of sun ups and downs and transformation. Transformation through self-effort. Now, this house is being energized. But there can also be conflict. So, you can find conflict with people online. Careful, don't be a keyboard warrior. Don't bring it to me in the comments for sure. Here you can get into conflict with your younger siblings, with your cousins, with your neighbors. Your communication will be fiery during this time, passionate. With this, you might be traveling, learning new skills, putting forth a lot of effort, and Mars is giving you the energy to put forth that effort. But, on the negative side, outside of conflict, remember, Mars is a malefic. There will be malefic results. Mars is cuts, burns, accidents, broken bones. Third house is the region from the shoulder down to the fingertips. So, you can have some injury to the arm, to your hands. These things can take place. So be careful. Wherever Mars goes, these things can happen. Okay, but now we need to talk about the aspects of Mars. So, Mars is the fourth aspect of conquest, falling on the sign of Virgo. Now, remember, this is where the triple impact is going to happen. So, this is the most important aspect to look at with this transit. Now, this is going to be on the 6th house. So, 6th house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your pets, it's your coworkers, it's your enemies. It's your everyday work, everyday routines. It's debt. It's competition, it's conflict, it's legal disputes. It's health issues and accidents. So, here, you want to conquer this house. You'll try to be overly domineering with your maternal aunts and uncles, with your coworkers. You want to be the one in charge at work. You want to defeat your enemies. Here, you want to overcome debt. You want to get a pet. You want to win a competition. You want to overcome your health issues. There will be big changes tied to the sign of Virgo. In particular, from March 29th to April 2nd. That small window. So look out for it. Now, the 7th aspect of a planet is the relationship aspect. But with Mars, it brings conflict. That's going to fall in the 9th house. 9th house is your fathers, father figures, your mentors, teachers, gurus, and higher educational environments. It's also religion, philosophy, the law. So you can get into conflicts with people tied to these areas. You can get into conflict with priests, ministers, rabbis. You can get into conflict with judges and lawyers, cops. So be careful. Now, the 8th aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. That's going to fall in your 10th house. 10th house is career. It's your status, your fame, your reputation. It's your workplace, your managers and your bosses. It's government, especially national government. It's the highest house of karma. It's your karmic actions that the world notices. So even if you're retired or out of work, this house is still important. So here we see there can be a change that takes place with your career. There can be a change in your reputation. Maybe there's a scandal found out at work. Maybe you were sleeping with a subordinate. Now the whole office knows. Maybe you get promoted. Maybe you get transferred. These are just some of the things that could take place. Okay. That's what I have for you though, Aries. Moving on to Taurus. Taurus. Mars has gone direct in the sign of Gemini. So, Mars is a fiery, malefic planet. And Mars is your energy and drive. So now, the 2nd house is being energized. But Mars is also cuts, burns, accidents, broken bones. So, 2nd house is your family. It's your finances, your earnings, your savings, your bank account. 2nd house is your possessions. It's what you value. It's your speech. So now your speech is going to be fiery. It's going to be heated and passionate. Here, there will be conflict with your family. Prepare for it. Now, Mars does something interesting when it comes to finances. 2 things will happen with this. 1, it'll increase the money that you make. Congrats. 2, you're also going to spend that money on necessities. Because Mars is a soldier. Mars doesn't care about investing in the stock market, investing in your 401k, gambling. Mars doesn't give a shit about that. Mars says, I'm hungry, I need food. Time to go hunting. That's Mars. I don't have shelter, I need a home. That's Mars. So, here, you're going to buy necessities. You're going to stock the fridge. You're going to get warmer clothes. These are the kinds of things that will take place with Mars in the second house. So, it has positives. It does have negatives. If you don't want to be spending a lot of money, you might be forced to. Now, with this, though, we also see cuts, burns, bruises, broken bones, right? Well, this is tied to the face. Second house is the face. So, with this, you could have teeth problems. You could chip a tooth. You could get punched in the face, I guess. Hopefully not. You could get, like, I don't know, a small cut while shaving. These kinds of things can happen. Alright. But now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars has a fourth aspect of conquest, falling on the fifth house, sign of Virgo. This is the most important aspect, because triple impact is going to be happening in this sign. And that'll be from March 29th to April 2nd. Very small window. But, throughout Mars transit, it's still going to affect Virgo. So, fifth house is romance, fun and games. It's your children, your students, your subordinates. It's education. It's creativity, arts and sports. It's education. Yeah, I already said it's education. It's also speculative gain through stock market, through gambling, through business. It's politics. It's 8th from the 10th house. So it's the sudden ups and downs and transformation of your career. So with this, you could be overly domineering with your children. If you don't want to ruin your relationship with them, which may already be strained because of Ketu being there, try not to. Here you can, want to really make something happen when it comes to your education. When it comes to romance. Try not to be too forceful. Here you want speculative gains. You may want to invest in the stock market. You may want to gamble. Be careful. Here when it comes to politics, you want political movements and stuff to go your way. You don't want to take no for an answer. But, like I said, there will be a big change taking place tied to this house in that window of the triple impact. Okay. Now, seventh aspect of Mars. Seventh aspect is the relationship aspect of a planet. That's going to be falling on the 8th house. Well, seventh aspect of Mars brings conflict. 8th house is your in-laws. It's occultists. It's taxes. So, it's even a house of banking as well. So, you can get into conflict with these people. Get into conflict with your in-laws. Get into conflict with financial professionals. Get into conflict with occultists. Leave me out of it. I don't need it. Now, the 8th aspect of Mars brings sun ups and downs and transformation. That's going to fall in Capricorn, your 9th house. So, with this, well, first off, 9th house is your father figures. It's your mentors, teachers, gurus. It's religion, philosophy, the law. It's higher education outside of typical schooling or beyond like a bachelor's degree. 9th house is long distance travel and pilgrimage. It's publishing. It's your luck and your fortune. So here, there can be a sudden change with this. There can be a sudden change in your education. There can be sudden events that take place with your father. Sudden travels can take place. Here you could transform your religious or philosophical views, your legal views. There can be a transformation of your luck for the better or for the worse. Okay. But that's what I have for you, Taurus. Moving on to Gemini. Alright, Gemini. So, Mars is now direct in your first house. Well, Mars is a fiery, passionate malefic. So there will be some negative results with this. Now, Mars is also cuts, burns, accidents, broken bones. First house is you. Your physical health, your body, your personality, your overall path in life. And Mars is your energy and drive. So, here, you're going to get hurt. Get ready. But Mars makes you feel like a superhero when it's in the first house. Now you have the energy and drive of Mars fueling your entire body. So you're ready to fight. You have the power to fight. So you get cut, you get burnt, you get hurt. Mars is like, doesn't matter, I can keep soldiering on. So it's a mixed bag. You'll shrug it off, but it'll happen. Okay. So, that's what we see with this. But here, it's a great time to start trying to get in better shape, get in better health. Despite those things. Because like I said, Mars is giving you the energy to get things done. Now, the fourth aspect of Mars is the aspect of conquest. That's falling on the fourth house. Well, this is going to be the most important aspect of this. Because triple impact is going to be happening here. From March 29th to April 2nd. But the aspect here will be the entire transit of Mars and Gemini. But like I said, that tight window is the most important. Now, fourth house is your mother figures. It's home, land, real estate. It's vehicles. It's your comfort and your happiness. So, now you want to control these things. You want to be in charge. You want your mother to listen to you. You want to be in control of the home. You want to get a new home, renovate the home. You want it your way within the home. Same thing with a car. Maybe you want to get a new car. Repair your car. You want comfort and happiness, and you're going to fight to have it. And like I said, there can be a big change tied to this house. So especially for getting a home, getting a car, this could be a good time during that window. Now, the seventh aspect of a planet is the relationship aspect, but with Mars, it brings conflict. While it is falling on the seventh house. Seventh house is relationships. It's your business partner. It's the masses, all the people you deal with out in the world. So with this, yeah, Mars is making you superhuman, but now you have to fight. You have to fight a lot of people. For relationships, this can be very bad. So be careful. Because you're the one bringing this conflict. If Mars was in the seventh house, it would be a different story. But you're the one bringing this conflict. So if you don't want that conflict, be careful. Okay. Now, the eighth aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. That's going to fall on your eighth house. So eighth house is your in-laws. It's joint finances and relationships and business. It's other people's money. It's sex. It's death. wills, inheritance, estates, legacies. It's taxes. It's the occult. It's research. It's surgeries. It's psychological baggage. It's ups and downs and transformation. So here, there could be a big change with your in-laws. There can be a change in joint finances. Here, there can be a change when it comes to your psychology. There can be a change in your sex life. Transformation when it comes to your research. You could suddenly become interested in the occult. There can be a significant transformation that takes place with this. Maybe you find out you need to get a surgery. Hopefully, it'll help you out. But alright, that's what I have for you, Gemini. Moving on to Cancer. Alright, Cancer. So Mars has gone direct in Gemini, your 12th house. So Mars is a fiery, passionate malefic. Mars brings conflict. Mars is cuts, burns, bruises, broken bones, accidents. Mars is your energy and your drive. So now that's in the 12th house. Well, 12th house is bed pleasure, sex and sleep. It's spirituality. It's anywhere you feel isolated. Jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. It's losses of all kinds, including financial. It's donating. It's investing, because when you invest money, you're temporarily losing money. It's foreign places, foreign people, foreign travel. It's multinational companies. It's fantasy, it's illusions, it's addictions. It's other worlds. So, with Mars being here, one thing you'll see is, if you're spiritual, this is a great time. Here, the house of spirituality is being energized. You can make spiritual progress during this time. On the flip side, your sex life is being energized, or at least your desire for it is. Here, you may put energy into traveling to far-off places. Here, you need to be careful. The house of losses is being energized. Now, you can have more losses that take place financially, especially. Now, 12th house is the feet. So, you can have injuries tied to the feet. Be careful. Wherever Mars transits, there can be accidents. Okay. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. Mars has a 4th, 7th, and 8th aspect. But the 4th aspect of conquest is falling on your 3rd house. So, this is the sign of Virgo. This is where the triple impact will be taking place. Now, that will be taking place from March 29th to April 2nd. So that's the most important window within this transit. Now, 3rd house is your younger siblings, your cousins, your neighbors. It's marketing and sales. It's your skills. It's communications of all kinds, including writing. It's creativity, arts, sports. It's media, social media, the internet. It's short distance travel, but it can even be foreign travel, because it's 12th from the 4th house. Furthest place from your homeland. It's a house of effort. It's 8th from the 8th, so it's higher form of sun ups and downs and transformation. Transformation through self-effort is the 3rd house. So, you want to conquer these areas of life. You can be overly domineering with your siblings during this time. You really want to travel during this time, and you're going to put forth the effort to do that. Mars is showing you have the energy to put forth that effort. Now, with this, you can also learn new skills. Here, you want to communicate. You want to be creative, artistic. You want to do well in sports. You may want to watch more media, indulge in fantasy and other worlds. Now, the 7th aspect of Mars is the aspect of relationships, like any other planet. But with Mars, it brings confrontation. That's falling on your 6th house. So, 6th house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your pets. It's your coworkers. It's your enemies. So you get into conflict with all these people and animals. Hopefully not. Leave them out of it. Now, the 8th aspect of Mars brings sun ups and downs and transformation. That's going to fall on your 7th house. So, 7th house is marriage, relationships, business partner. It's the masses, all the people you meet out in the world. It's 4th from the 4th, higher form of your comfort and your happiness. It's 10th from the 10th, higher form of your career, your status, your fame. It's furthest place from the 1st house, meaning it could be foreign lands. Because 1st house was a sign rising in the east when you were born. It's your birthplace. So, with this, we see there could be a change when it comes to relationships. Maybe you break up with someone. Maybe you begin a new relationship. Maybe you become committed and start living together. Maybe you get married. You could start a new business partnership. There can be a transformation of your comfort and happiness, of your fame, of your career. Okay, that's what I have for you, Cancer. Moving on to Leo. Alright, Leo. So, Mars has gone direct in the sign Gemini, your 11th house. Mars is a fiery, passionate malefic. Mars is cuts, burns, bruises, broken bones, accidents. Mars is your energy and your drive. So now, the 11th house is being energized. Well, 11th house is your elder siblings, your paternal aunts and uncles. It's your friends, your network circle, large organizations, large gatherings, parties. It's stock market, it's gains. It's your hopes, wishes, and desires. So with this, we see there can be conflict with large organizations, with your elder siblings, with your friends, with your paternal aunts and uncles. But there can also be a lot of activity that takes place with them. So you could be dealing with all these people a lot more than you usually do. Here, the house of gains is being energized, meaning you can definitely make more money while Mars is transiting here. Here, Mars is giving you the energy and the drive to fulfill your hopes, wishes, and desires. Make good use of it. Now, 11th house is the ankle region. Actually, it's between the ankle and below the knee, the shin. There you go. Ankle and shin region. So, that is the region where you could get a cut, burn, bruise, broken bone accident. So be careful. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. The 4th aspect of Mars, of conquest, is falling on the 2nd house. Now, this is going to be the most important aspect, especially because during the small window between March 29th and April 2nd, triple impact will happen here. Meaning there could be a big change tied to this house. So, this is your second house. Second house is family. It's your finances, your earnings, your savings, your bank account. It's your possessions. It's what you value. It's your speech. So with this, you can be overly domineering with your family. You need to be careful of that. Here, you want to be in control of your finances. Hopefully you already are, but you want to be more in control of them. But the main thing with this is, there can be a big change with your family. There can be a big change with your money. Okay. Now, the seventh aspect of Mars is the relationship aspect. But with Mars, it brings confrontation. So, that's falling on the fifth house. Well, fifth house is children, students, subordinates. It's also politics. It's education. So you can get into conflict with all these people. You can be overly, combative with your children, with your students, if you're a teacher, with people in educational environments, with people in politics. So, be careful with that. Now, the eighth aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. That's going to fall in your sixth house. So, sixth house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your coworkers. It's your pets. It's your enemies. It's your debt. It's your everyday work, everyday routines. Sixth house is competition. It's conflict. It's legal disputes. It's health issues and accidents. So, there can be a big change with your maternal aunts and uncles. There can be a change with your pets. Maybe you get a new pet. There can be a change with your enemies. Maybe you make new enemies. Maybe you defeat old enemies. There could be a change in your health, hopefully for the better. One thing I will say is, I'm hearing a lot of dogs barking right now. So, dogs are tied to Ardra and Mula, the constellation or nakshatras of Ardra and Mula. So, maybe you're getting a dog. There's your omen. Man, they're going crazy all around here, though. Okay. But that's what I have for you, Leo. Moving on to Virgo. Okay, Virgo. So, Mars is going direct in Gemini, your 10th house. So, Mars is a fiery, passionate malefic. Mars brings cuts, burns, bruises, broken bones, accidents. Mars is your energy and your drive, so it energizes wherever it transits. Now, this is in the 10th house. 10th house is your career, your status, your fame, your reputation. It's your workplace, your managers and your bosses. It's government, especially national government. It's the highest house of karma. It's your karmic actions that the world notices. So with this, Mars is giving you the energy to make something happen in your career, to achieve something. But Mars can bring conflict. Here you can get into conflict with people within your workplace, with your managers and bosses, with people in government. Be careful. Now, Mars, like I said, can bring accidents. Well, 10th house is the region of the body tied to the knees. So, that's where you can have a potential accident. Be careful. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. Mars has a fourth aspect of conquest that's going to fall on the first house, sign of Virgo. Now, during this transit, the small window of March 29th to April 2nd, triple impact will be happening on this sign. and house. So that is the most important window during this transit. This is where the biggest change will happen. Now, first house is you, your physical health, your body. It's your personality, it's your reputation. Or, sorry, not reputation. For some of you, maybe that's a big focus with this transit. For me, I mistakenly say that. But first house is your overall path in life. So, with this, we clearly see there could be a big change in your health. You need to be careful, especially if you think it could change for the worse. If you're not taking good enough care of your physical body. But you want to make a change with your health. Just be aware that window between March 29th and April 2nd. Get checked out by a doctor if you're worried that something could be taking place there. Okay. Now, the seventh aspect of Mars is the relationship aspect of a planet. With Mars, it brings conflict, though. That's going to fall in the fourth house. So fourth house is mother figures. It's people within the home. It could even be like people in real estate. People tied to cars. Not literally tied to cars. You know, people that are mechanics or something. Shut up. Okay. But there can be conflict with these people. So be careful of that. Now, the eighth aspect of Mars brings sun ups and downs and transformation. That's going to fall on your fifth house. So, fifth house is romance. It's fun and games. It's children, students, subordinates. It's education. It's creativity, arts and sports. It's politics. It's speculative gains through stock market, through gambling, through business. It's eighth from the 10th house. So it's the sun ups and downs and transformation of your career. So with this, you might find out you're suddenly going to have kids. You could begin a sudden romance. There could be a transformation that takes place with your children. Especially the first child, because fifth house is the first child. Now, there can also be a change in your political views. There can be a change in an educational environment. There could be a transformation of your creativity, your artistic talent. Although, I guess that would be more so skills, which is tied to the third house. But here, you could be suddenly getting a new job or getting promoted. Or losing a job or getting demoted. Be careful. Especially if you have been slacking off. Okay. That's what I have for you, Virgo. Moving on to Libra. So, Libra, for you, Mars has gone direct in Gemini, your ninth house. Now, Mars is a fiery, passionate planet. Mars brings accidents. Mars is your energy and drive. So now the ninth house is being energized. The ninth house is your father figures. Father figures. It's your mentors, teachers, gurus. It's religion, philosophy, the law. It's long distance travel. It's pilgrimage. Ninth house is higher education beyond like a bachelor's degree, outside typical schooling. It's publishing. It's fifth from the fifth, higher form of creativity and art. It's your luck and your fortune. And it's also your ancestry in general. So, with Mars being here, you can get into conflict with your father. Conflict with your mentors, your teachers. With religious people, with people tied to the law, like judges and lawyers. Here, definitely you can travel during this time. Mars is energizing the house of travel. You could publish something. Now, ninth house is the region of the body tied to the thigh. So, you could have some kind of accident, cut, burn, bruise, broken bone tied to the thigh region. Be careful. But Mars is a natural malefic, so there can be some negatives with it. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. Mars has a fourth aspect of conquest, falling on the 12th house. Sign of Virgo. Now, there's a small window here from March 29th to April 2nd where the triple impact is going to be affecting this sign and house. So, this shows there can be a big change tied to this house during that time frame. Now, 12th house is bed pleasure, sex and sleep. It's spirituality. It's anywhere you feel isolated, jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. It's losses of all kinds, including financial. It's donating. It's investing, because when you invest money, you're temporarily losing money. 12th house is foreign places, foreign people, foreign travel. It's multinational companies. It's fantasy. It's addiction. It's other worlds. So, there could be a big change in your spirituality. There could be a big change in your sex life. You can travel to a far-off foreign place. If you're not careful, you could wind up in jail or in a hospital. So, be careful. You could also incur financial losses. Or maybe you're investing in something. Hopefully it pays off for you. Now, the seventh aspect of a planet is the relationship aspect. But with Mars, it brings conflict. That's falling in your third house. So third house is your younger siblings, your cousins, your neighbors. It's people you deal with online. Trying to be a little keyboard warrior. Definitely don't bring it to me. You can have conflict with all these people. Now, the eighth aspect of Mars brings sun ups and downs and transformation. That's going to be on your fourth house. So, fourth house is your mother figures. It's home, land, real estate. It's vehicles. It's your comfort and your happiness. So, with this, there can be a big transformation with your mother. There could be a sudden event that takes place with her. There could be a change in your living situation. Maybe you move. Maybe you renovate. Maybe you get a new property. Same thing with a car. There could be a change. Maybe you repair a car. Maybe you have a car that breaks down. Maybe you buy a new car. But alright. That's what I have for you, Libra. Moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio. So, for you, Mars is going direct in Gemini, your 8th house. Now, Mars is a fiery, passionate planet. Mars brings accidents. Mars brings conflict. Mars is also your energy and your drive. So, the 8th house is being energized. Well, 8th house is your in-laws. It's joint finances and relationships and in business. It's other people's money. It's taxes. It's sex. It's death, wills, inheritance, estates, legacies. It's the occult. It's research. It's surgeries. It's psychological baggage. It's sun ups and downs and transformation. So, here there can be conflict with your in-laws. Here you could be making more money through business, through you and your spouse, your joint income. Now, Mars does a funny thing though here. Mars, you'll make more money when it's in the house tied to finances in your bank account. But you will spend money on essentials. Also here, Mars is energizing your sex life. Here, you're wanting to put energy into the occult, learning the occult, into research. You're fighting to get a bigger tax return. Here, you could be getting a surgery during this time. There could be a sudden change that takes place, because now the house of change is being energized. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. The fourth aspect of conquest is falling on the 11th house. Now, triple impact is going to be taking place in Virgo, your 11th house. Specifically from March 29th to April 2nd. Now, 11th house is your elder siblings. It's your paternal aunts and uncles. It's your friends. It's your network circle. It's large organizations, large gatherings, parties. It's stock market. It's gains. It's your hopes, wishes, and desires. So with this, we see there can be a big change that takes place with your elder siblings, with your paternal aunts and uncles, with your friends. Here, there can be a big change in your gains, in fulfilling your hopes, wishes, and desires. And Mars can show, though, that you're being overly domineering. You need to be careful with that. Now, the seventh aspect is the aspect of relationships. But with Mars, it brings conflict. That's going to fall on your second house. Second house is family. So, during this time, you can definitely get into conflict with your family. Be careful. Now, the eighth aspect of Mars brings sun ups and downs and transformation. That's going to fall on Capricorn, your third house. So, with this, third house is your younger siblings, your cousins, your neighbors. It's communication of all kinds, including writing. It's your skills. It's creativity, arts, and sports. It's media, marketing, and sales. Social media, the internet. It's short distance travel, but it can even be foreign travel. It's 12th from the 4th, furthest place from your homeland. It's a house of effort. It's 8th from the 8th. It's the higher form of sun ups and downs and transformation. So, here there can be a change that takes place with your younger siblings, with your cousins, with your neighbors, with your skills. Maybe you're suddenly learning new skills. There could be sudden travels that take place. A change in the way you communicate. Okay. That's what I have for you though, Scorpio. Moving on to Sagittarius. There we go. Alright, Sagittarius. So, Mars has gone direct in your 7th house. Now, Mars is a fiery, passionate planet. But Mars can bring conflict. Mars can also bring accidents. Mars is your energy and drive. So now the 7th house is being energized. 7th house is marriage, relationships, business partner. It's the masses, all the people you deal with out in the world. It's 4th from the 4th, higher form of your comfort and happiness. It's 10th from the 10th, higher form of your career and your status. It's directly opposite from the 1st house. Meaning it's opposite from where you were born. It can be foreign lands. So, with this, we see, first off, you can begin a new relationship. You can get into conflict with someone you're already in a relationship with. Or there can be a lot of passion. Here, there could be more going on in business. Business is being energized. But there can also be conflict with the people you deal with in business, with your business partner. You could be meeting a lot of people during this time. I don't even know if I should mention this. So, 7th house is the groin region. Mars' accidents. Be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars is the 4th aspect of conquest, falling on the 10th house. So, first off, there's going to be a triple impact taking place here. Specifically, from March 29th to April 2nd. So, that tight window. There can be big change tied to Virgo in your 10th house here. Now, 10th house is your career. It's your status, your fame, your reputation. It's your workplace, your managers, and your bosses. 10th house is government, especially national government. It's the highest house of karma. It's your karmic actions that the world notices. So, even if you're out of work or retired, 10th house still matters. So here, for most people, there's going to be a big change in your career. That'll take place for Sagittarius people. A change in your status and your reputation. A change in your workplace. Maybe you're changing jobs. Maybe you're getting promoted, getting demoted, getting transferred. Or these big changes could take place with a manager or a boss. Maybe there's a big change taking place with your government. But 7th aspect of a planet is the relationship aspect. With Mars, it brings conflict though. So this is falling on the 1st house. You. So this means people are bringing conflict to you. When Mars is in the 7th house, you get into conflict with a lot of people. And it's usually them bringing the conflict to you. So you've been warned. Now, 8th aspect of Mars brings sun ups and downs and transformation. That's falling on your 2nd house. So, 2nd house is your family. It's your finances, your earnings, your savings, your bank account. It's your possessions. It's what you value. It's your speech. So here, there could be a sudden change with your family. Maybe you have a family member who's getting married. You have one that's having a kid. There can be a transformation of your finances. Hopefully, you'll be making more money. There can be a change in what you value. Okay. That's what I have for you though, Sagittarius. Moving on to Capricorn. Alright, Capricorn. So, Mars has gone direct in your 6th house of Gemini. Now, Mars is a fiery, passionate planet. Mars brings conflict. Mars also brings accidents. Mars is your energy and your drive. So now the 6th house is being energized. 6th house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your pets. It's your coworkers. It's your enemies. 6th house is your everyday work, everyday routines. It's debt. It's competition. It's conflict. It's legal disputes. It's health issues and accidents. So, you can get into conflict with your maternal aunts and uncles, with your coworkers, with your pets. Don't be cruel to them. I will haunt you. Here, Mars is giving you the energy to combat your enemies. But there can be some downsides with this too. Outside of that, 6th house is debt. Now Mars is energizing the house of debt. So with this, you could take on more debt. Be careful with that. Here, Mars' health issues and accidents Mars can bring that. It's now in the house of accidents. So be careful. There can definitely be an accident. In particular, the 6th house is the lower belly and lower back. So that's the region in particular to be aware of. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. Mars has a 4th aspect of conquest. That's going to fall on your 9th house, the sign of Virgo. And there will be a triple impact taking place here during this time, specifically from March 29th to April 2nd. Big changes will take place here during that time. So, 9th house is your father figures. It's your mentors, teachers, gurus. It's religion, philosophy, the law. It's higher education beyond like a bachelor's degree, outside of typical schooling. It's long distance travel. It's pilgrimage. It's publishing. It's 5th from the 5th. Higher form of creativity, arts, and yeah. It's your ancestry in general. It's also your luck and your fortune. So, there can be big changes with your father. Be careful, you can be overly domineering with him and your mentors. There can be a big change when it comes to your education. You could travel. There could be a change in your religious views, your philosophical views, your legal views. You could publish something during this time. You could meet your guru. Your luck and fortune could change. Now, the 7th aspect of Mars, of any planet, is the relationship aspect. But with Mars, it brings confrontation. That's going to fall in the 12th house. So, 12th house is spiritual people. It's people that work in hospitals, work in jails. It's foreign people. So these are the kind of people you can get into conflict with. Be careful. Now, the 8th aspect of Mars brings sun ups and downs and transformation. That's going to fall in your 1st house. So 1st house is you, your physical health, your body. It's your personality. It's your overall path in life. So for most people, this will be health. There can be a transformation of your health. Health. There we go. Hopefully for the better. But be careful if you know you haven't been taking the best care of your health. Mars is energizing the 6th house. Health issues and accidents. But with Mars in the 6th house, aspecting the 1st house, this can also show somebody like working out, trying to lose weight, trying to get in better health. Make use of it. Try to use it for the better. Okay. That's what I have for you though, Capricorn. Moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius. So, Mars has gone direct in the sign of Gemini. Now, Mars is a fiery, passionate malefic. Mars brings conflict. Mars brings accidents. Mars is your energy and your drive. So now the 5th house is being energized. Well, 5th house is romance and fun and games. It's children, students, subordinates. It's education. It's creativity, arts, and sports. 5th house is politics. It's speculative gains through stock market, through gambling, through business. 5th house is 8th from the 10th house. Sun ups and downs and transformation of your career. So with this, there can be conflict with your children, There could be conflict with your students, with people in an educational environment. Conflict tied to politics. Here, the house of children is being energized. You could be having children. Here, you could be beginning a new romance. You have the energy and drive to pursue your education. You're feeling more creative, more artistic. You want to accomplish something in sports. Mars is giving you the energy to do it. Now, on a negative side with this, Mars is accidents. So, 5th house is the upper belly, the middle of your back. So that's where you could have an accident take place. Be careful. Mars is a malefic. It does have malefic influence. Malefic things can happen. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. Mars is going to have a 4th aspect of conquest. That's going to fall in the 8th house. And not only that, but the triple impact is going to take place here. Specifically from March 29th to April 2nd. That's when big changes can take place tied to your 8th house. So, 8th house is your in-laws. It's joint finances and relationships and in business. It's other people's money. It's taxes. It's sex. It's death, wills, inheritance, estates, legacies. It's the occult. It's research. It's surgeries. It's psychological baggage. It's sudden ups and downs and transformation. So with this, there can be big changes with your in-laws that takes place. There could be a change in your joint finances. Here, you could get a big tax return or get no tax return. There can be sudden, massive changes that take place. Here, your sex life could change completely. You could receive an inheritance. There can be something big that takes place with your psychological baggage. Maybe you're seeing a therapist and you have a breakthrough. Maybe there's a big event that takes place tied to your research. Maybe you start becoming really interested in the occult. Develop occult abilities. Learn more astrology from me. Maybe you're having a surgery. Hopefully, that works out well for you. Okay. Now, 7th aspect of any planet is the relationship aspect. But with Mars, it brings confrontation. That's going to fall in your 11th house. So, 11th house is your elder siblings, your paternal aunts and uncles, your friends, your network circle, large organizations. You can get into conflict with all these people. Be careful. Now, the 8th aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. That's going to fall in your 12th house. So, 12th house is bed pleasure, sex and sleep. It's spirituality. It's anywhere you feel isolated, jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. 12th house is losses of all kinds, including financial. It's donating. It's investing, because when you invest money, you're temporarily losing money. It's foreign places, foreign people, foreign travel. It's multinational companies. It's fantasy. It's addictions. It's other worlds. So, there could be a sudden change in your sex life. Sudden change in your spirituality, your spiritual views. You could suddenly go to jail. Suddenly go to a hospital. Be careful. There could be sudden losses that take place, or a transformation of your losses where you're reducing your expenditure. You could suddenly travel during this time. Okay, but that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Moving on to Pisces. Alright, Pisces. So, Mars has now gone direct in Gemini, your 4th house. Now, Mars is a fiery, passionate malefic. Mars brings conflict. Mars brings accidents. Mars is your energy and your drive. So now the 4th house is being energized. 4th house is your mother figures. It's home, land, real estate. It's vehicles. It's your comfort and your happiness. So, you can get into conflict with your mother, with people within your home. Here, your mother could have an accident. There is a chance of that. With this, you could be getting a new home, renovating a home. You get a new car, repair a car. There could be a car accident. Be careful. Now, as for you, where you could have some health issue take place, some accident. 4th house is the chest and upper back. So that's the region where you could have some kind of accident. Be careful. Take good care of your health. Mars is a malefic. It can bring malefic events. Okay. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. Mars has a 4th aspect of conquest that is going to fall in the 7th house. So, 7th house is a sign of Virgo. There will be triple impact taking place in this sign and house. That's going to be from March 29th to April 2nd. Now, this is going to be big because the 3 slower moving physical planets are affecting this house. So there will be big changes here. Well, 7th house is marriage, relationships, business partnerships. It's the masses, all the people you meet out in the world. It's 4th from the 4th, higher form of your comfort and happiness. It's 10th from the 10th, higher form of your career and your status. 1st house is you. Well, 7th house is furthest place away from where you became alive. So, 7th house is foreign lands. So, with this, you could be going to foreign lands. You could be overly domineering with a spouse in relationships. But you could also begin a new relationship. Here, there could be a big change in your business or with a business partnership. There could be a big change in a relationship where you get divorced, where you become committed, start living together, get engaged, marry. There can be a big change in your comfort and happiness, big change in your career and your status. These are the things that we can see taking place here. Now, 7th aspect of any planet is the relationship aspect, but with Mars, it will bring conflict. That's going to fall in your 10th house. Well, 10th house is your workplace. It's your managers and your bosses. It's also government. So, you can get into conflict with government officials. Get in conflict with your managers and your bosses and the people within your workplace. Now, the 8th aspect of Mars brings sun ups and downs and transformation. That's going to fall on Capricorn, your 11th house. So, 11th house is your elder siblings, your paternal aunts and uncles. It's your friends, your network circle, large organizations, large gatherings, parties. It's stock market, it's gains. It's your hopes, wishes, and desires. So, there can be a sudden change that takes place with your elder siblings, your paternal aunts and uncles, your friends, within a large organization that you're a part of. There can be a change with your stocks. Be careful, they could suddenly go down, suddenly go up. There can be a transformation of your hopes and wishes. There can be sudden gains that take place. Okay, but yeah, that's what I have for all of you. Hopefully you found this video informative. Be ready for the triple impact on the sign of Virgo. Like I said, it's from March 29th to April 2nd. Those are very significant dates, so be ready. Alright, but hopefully y'all liked this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me in the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box in the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.